right, so this time what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at number 2. Number 2 says circle all the tables that represent y equals x plus 14. So right away, I want to go ahead and identify what kind of relationship are we looking at. That's right, because we are adding this time, we're going to be looking at an additive relationship. So I'm going to go ahead and write the word additive right here so that I can remember. And what that means is every time we have an x value, we're going to be taking the number 14 and adding it to that number to get the y value. So again, I'm going to write that above each one of my tables so that I can follow the rule as noted above. All right, and now what I need to do is just simply plug in the number. So if I have the number 5 and I add 14 to it, 5 plus 4 is 9 and 1 plus 1 is 19. So this does follow the rule. If I have the number 7 and I add 14 to it, well, I know that if I have 14 and another group of 7, that's going to give me 21. So this also follows the rule. If I'm at the number 8 on the number line and I add 14 to that, 8 plus 4 is 12 and 1 plus 1 is 2. And so this again follows the rule. And then finally, if I'm at the number 10 and I add 14 to that, I will indeed get the number 24. So this piece of information does follow the rule, so I'm going to go ahead and circle it now. Let's look at the next piece of information. The next piece of information says that if I'm at 3 and I add 14, will I get 17? Well, if I'm at 14 on the number line and I add 3 more, I will get 17. So that's a check. If I'm at 4 and I add 14 more to that, or vice versa, if I'm at 14 and I add 4 to that, will I be at 18? That is true. Check there. If I'm at the number 6 and I add 14 to that, will I get the number 21? I will not get the number 21. I will actually get the number 20. So this right here is a great example of where it looks like the information is following the rule, but in fact it does not. So right now I'm going to take my pen and I'm going to cross this one out. We do not want to choose this answer. Let's look at example number 3. If I'm at the number 11 and I add 14 to that, well, 4 plus 1 is 5, and 1 plus 1 is 2. So this does give me 25. If I'm at the number 13, and I add 14 to that, well, let's take our ones and ones. So 3 plus 4 is 7, and 1 plus 1 is 2. I will get 27. If I'm at the number 16, and I add 14 to that, well, 6 plus 4 is 10, carry your 1, and 1, 2, 3 will give you 3 tens. This does also match. And finally, if I'm at the number 19, and I add 14 to that, I might even need to stack it, and that is completely okay. 9 plus 4 is 13, and 1, 2, 3 is 33, and this does work. So here we found another table that actually follows the rule. When we take our x value, we add 14, we are getting that y value. So I'm going to take my highlighter and I'm going to circle this table. All right, let's look at our last example. Our last example says that if I'm at the number 9 and I add 14 to that, well, if I were to add 10, that would give me 24. So 1 less would give me 23. So this does indeed follow the rule. If I'm at the number 12 and I add 14, will I get the number 26? 2 plus 4 is 6, and 1 plus 1 is 2. So this is also following the rule. When I'm at the number 13 and I add the number 14, 3 plus 4 is 7, and 1 plus 1 is 2. So 27 is the correct number. And finally, if I'm at the number 15 and I add 14, well, I know 15 plus 15 is 30. So if I have 1 less, that makes sense that it would be 29, and this also follows the rule. So this time we have 3 tables that are following the rule.